Sometime last year, my curiosity in DND was piqued by the constant flashes of two shows across my For You page. I'm talking about Vox Machina and Mighty Nien. I've always liked the concept of Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeon Mention really satisfied or solidified that for me. I love the chaotic, lore-filled, wacky, in-depth and vibrant world of most D&D inspired media. But I had always sat at a crossroad between mild interest and full-blown obsession. So I decided to take a look at the two series, starting first with the older Vox Machina series and working my way down to the other. And somewhere between binge sessions, it hit me. These two shows feel weirdly similar, yet they shine in completely different areas. So I kind of felt like I needed to mesh them up, compare their parallels and contrast their differences, and figure out which show does what better, at least for me. Quick warning, there will be of course spoilers. Hey there, future me. I just wanted to let you know that it was after I wrote this script that I found out that they are made by the same people. Critical Role. Yeah, I felt dumb and some of the script might feel a bit off, but bear with me please. Back to you, past me. I'll be breaking down this comparison into four parts, four aspects where Vox Machina and Mighty Nien take very different approaches, starting with although the two teams have a lot in common, composed of a group with different colored abilities and personalities,
Buffoons? Clearly you've never heard of the legend of Vox Machina.
We are not nine. We are the Mighty Nine.
Mighty Nien just falls short when you compare the two, which isn't technically his fault because we are dropped right into the onset of the team's creation. They are all strangers at this point and have many groups within main groups, leading to a lot of conflict of interest. This compared to the more closer and connected Vox Machina, where by the time we are introduced to the party, they are already bonded. Sure, they all had their secrets and we are nowhere as close as they were by the third season, but they are close nonetheless, creating a team-like mentality so strong that Pike the Paladin, or is she a paladin? Let me know in the comment section, literally has her fate questioned by the second arc of the first season due to her loyalty to her team.
I left the righteous path. I was drawn to depravity and violence. When I'm with my friends, we mix it up, and we drink, we fight and curse, and I love it. But I know it's wrong.
Why do you think it's wrong?
Because I put them before you.
And aside from just loving each other, Vox Machina has just better combat synchrony. I loved watching the team complement their fighting styles where everyone participated in almost equal amounts. Even the easy to dismiss Scotland the Bard gets a fair share of the spotlight even in the most highest stake confrontations.
Nice and low.
I also find the interactions between each member satisfying and natural, where they fight, laugh and bicker, but always are willing to go the extra mile for one another.
We're all with you, but no more secrets, alright?
Understood.
Mighty Nien doesn't just have that level of coordination and mutual love and respect, which I know is to be expected, but yeah, Vox Machina wins this hands down. Although the two shows are set in a fantasy world, Vox Machina and Mighty Nien's realms are very different. One could even say they are contrasted. Vox Machina is a more idealistic and light-hearted world. Although it harbors its fair share of dark secrets, it is almost negligible. painfully so, lacking in important key aspects like consistency in law and politics. A quick example of this is in season 2, where we are introduced to Percy's roots, which, spoilers ahead, is a family of great importance both politically and geographically, bearing secrets capable of changing the world as a whole. And for some reason, they were killed, their throne usurped, and the realm taken without any political backlash or investigation. And if you decide to keep a blind eye to that, just call it lazy writing, the invading dragons show forth another flawed political structure of the world as a whole. The Chroma Conclave aren't just run-of-the-mill dragons or monsters in general. They are city destroyers, taking out Amon in just a few hours. Amon is not your normal everyday city. It is literally stated to be the largest city of the human civilization, and it was wiped out, and the whole world was pretty relaxed.
Humbly ask all the mighty temples of Vasselheim to lend their aid.
You have our sympathies and our hospitality. But that is all.
You won't help us?
You have weapons, ballista, armies. You're the strongest city in the world. Diplomacy demands.
The Mighty Nien almost mirrors this contrasting element. It is mysterious, dark, gritty, quite grounded, and explained in terms of politics and the people's behavior. Societies, countries, and empires have weight to their names. The notion of war is much more serious and the stakes a bit higher. In fact, the whole story revolves around the stolen artifact that will plunge the world into chaos.
The Kreen dynasty defiled one of our holiest temples and stole a beloved relic from its vault. Any one of those crimes would be an act of war. This message is a courtesy, Bertrand. One with a short fuse. Return the relic immediately, or you will witness a war of reckoning the likes of which not even your—
Mighty Nien's universe seems to be a lot more grounded in reality, which isn't always a good thing, but makes for better writing than the scattered political view of its, let's say, counterpart. Mighty Nien takes this one. When it comes to gods and religion and the notion of fate, Vox Machina does an incredible job in its portrayal. Here, gods aren't just abstract entities. They are weaved into spells and magic system, and even more into actions and relationship. A perfect example of this is between arguably my favorite character, Pike Trickfoot, and her god Everlight. A lot of her struggles is trying to please her god while staying faithful to her party, torn between her fate and her friends. But unknown to her, her god isn't one to make her choose.
My child, no curse, no spell could sever your connection to her light. It's impossible. Whatever is blocking you is inside of you.
Everlight is always there. You are the one that removes yourself from her light. Except you're in hell, then you're just on your own.
The hells of Despath are forbidden. Ignore my words, and you will find yourself alone.
This isn't just applicable to the paladin, but to other deities as well. Their role is fleshed out, explained, has consequences. The gods are shown time and time again to care for their people, or in the case of demons, lead them to destruction. I enjoy when gods aren't just humans with powers, which brings me to Mighty Nien. Now, although Mighty Nien is still quite new, his take on gods is not that much interesting, to be honest. He portrays them as vague, uninterested beings that almost always use their followers. A lot of their actions are tilted towards a selfish uninterest for the well-being or sanity for those who call upon them. We have the Traveler who, until the end of the series, we have no idea what he is, or even if he's a god or has all some construct by a deluded and borderline schizophrenic jester. A Lovecraftian entity using Ford as a tool and whatever mollyhawk. Even the primordial power dynamics is more science-based than ethereal.
Magic is not the correct word. Dunamis is rooted in the cosmos that created the world itself. Gravity, time, reality. It is everything you will ever do and could be.
So yeah, when it comes to gods and religion, Vox Machina takes this one. Remember when I say that it had a good team composition that complemented each other, a mage, a healer, brawler, main DPS and all that shit, well, you would expect them to also have a good power system to complement that with. And although it isn't what I would call terrible, it isn't the best either. You can basically sum up the power scaling or system to lock, which flows very well with its D&D roots, but it isn't comprehensible. Let's take Percy for example. The damage of his guns, the damaging power of his guns depend on what the plot is looking for at the moment. Sometimes it is incredibly powerful, other times it is pretty weak. Same goes for literally any other character on the team, especially the bard. His music-based finger projection has been shown to enable flight in some instances and sometimes barely holding him up. I won't lie, the randomness in the abilities make for some funny moments, but it's not something I can follow that easily. When it comes to Mighty Nien, however, the power system is a lot more methodological, especially when it comes to magic. For our German sorcerer to cast any spell, there are rules to follow, mediums to connect to, those sort of things. Even other party members each have grounded abilities. The empowered monk fighter with martial art training that she improves upon as the series goes on, the goblin and her stealth ability which makes her super vulnerable in one-to-one confrontations, and almost every member has a hard limit and rule to their ability. Any good power system places disadvantages and advantages with hard limits to make things interesting, and breaking said rules require explanation. So this one clearly goes to Mighty Nien. So when I finally step back and look at everything, you know, the team, the world, the gods, the power, the system, they really do come out even. Vox Machina shines a lot when it comes to team chemistry and fate. Mighty Nien shines in grounded politics and a more structured rule-based power system. I did try to look for a tiebreaker, something more objective to give one the win, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that they're just aiming at two completely different experiences. So using things like story or tone to separate them didn't really feel quite fair, and that's why it stops being about what's better and starts being about what worked for me. Vox Machina clicked because it focused heavily on the teams, their flaws, their strengths, and how they grow together, and as I've said earlier, that's what even got me to watch this series in the first place. Mighty Nien will eventually get there, but right now it isn't there yet. At this stage, the teams feel very uncentered and scattered, like a group of broken people moving in the same direction. Apart from the team feeling scattered, I struggle with how I connected with individual person. I struggle to forgive Caleb's choices, his backstory, especially the whole parent killing thing. Even though it's a realistic portrayal of brainwashing, it was still a choice made by the character, so that distance was never really closed for me. Forged cowardness started to take me off after a while. Jester's chaos sometimes crossed the line from charming into downright exhausting. And honestly, don't even get me started on Mollyhawk. I really felt nothing for that character. Not and Beauregard were the only ones I actually connected with, even a little. So objectively, yeah, it's a tie, but for me, Vox Machina wins. And that's the end of this video. Which of these two shows do you like better? And do you like this type of format of making videos where I compare two shows together? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like to make the video go further, especially if you liked it. And I will see you in the next one. I'm out though.